Welcome into the latest edition of Extra Time. Thank you as always for your tweets. Shaka and Don with me. Don, you've excused Lampard all season for their transfer ban. Martial, Rashford and Pogba were injured for much of the campaign. Why is that not a valid excuse for not doing better?
Good question, but I will add that they lost their best player in Hazard, and United weren't particularly great for, the start of the season, and certainly the midpoint, the end of the season was terrific. But at the very start of the season, when United were linked with Bruno Fernandes and they didn't get that signing over the line, it took them to January to get that signing over the line. And when they did, imagine what they would have done if he had come through the door early on. I mean, he was the difference, because all of a sudden people around him started to play. Pogba looked as though he was playing with a smile on his face. So in the end, United had a very good season finishing third, but I think there's a few more excuses that you could give Frank more than Ollie.
Don, if you're Ed Woodward and Pochettino calls you up and says, you know what, I'd like to come to Old Trafford, what do you do?
Yeah. I'd say too late.
Would
I'd say too late. I would. I see signs in Ollie. I mean, there's no guarantee if Pochettino comes through the door that he's going to take them to a title or he's going to take them to the Champions League. I can see signs in United. I can see what they're doing. They're getting rid of players that they don't want, that they think are no good in the dressing room. They're younger. They've got, they seem more vibrant. They seem as though they've got a hunger for the game. And I can see where they're going. Listen, I've said it before and I'll stand by it. I don't think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer will be the man to take Man U to a Champions League final and win it, or even win the Premier League as long as Guardiola and Jurgen Klopp's here. But at the same time, you have to give him time to try and have a go at it, because the signs are pretty good.
Shaka?
I'd prefer to have Pochettino right now, but I just think the timing will be all wrong if you get rid of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer for Pochettino this summer. But just going back to the original question, Dan, as much as you talk about Pogba being injured for a lot of the season, so was N'Golo Kante. As much as you may talk about injuries to Rashford and Martial, added to the transfer ban, Frank Lampard had to rely on Tammy Abraham being introduced pretty much for the first time in the starting lineup with any kind of consistency, and then Olivier Giroud, who's older than Don. I mean, those injuries and who you have to rely on can go any number of ways. And as Don rightly pointed out, after that you lose Eden Hazard, I think Chelsea and Frank Lampard have far more excuses than Ole Gunnar Solskjaer does.
Shaka, who wins in a 100-metre sprint between you, me and Giroud?
I back myself comfortably. Don?
Oh wait, my producers just text me. What does it say? Let's see. The last question has a link to an article saying, well, that's not relevant now. Why is he texting that now? Anyway.
So your phone going off as well, was it?
Yes, well, it's the producer. I thought it was, I've got it on emergency when he texts me. I thought it was something interesting, but it's something for the last question. If United end up signing Sancho, who do you play in the front three next year, or do you change the formation completely, Don?
No, easy. Martial out. You might not sell him, but to the bench. You'd play Rashford off the left, Jadon Sancho off the right, and move Mason Greenwood into the 9 position. I think he's going to play that position for a long time, Mason Greenwood. Everything I see, and the maturity, the size of him, he's grown into his body. He's got a hammer of a left foot. He knows the position quite well at such a young age, and I just think he's destined just to be a Man United great. I think his early signs are sensational.
Who gets through to the final of the promotion playoff, and who wins it, Don?
I would lean towards Fulham, I think.
Well, they're 2-0 up. That's why you're leaning towards them, yeah.
Say that again?
They're 2-0 up, aren't they?
Well, yeah, but that's why I lean towards them. So
yeah,
that's good. Yeah. So I think that I would lean towards them, right. And I think they'll win it.
They'll win it overall, and who will make it through? Will Swansea make it through against them?
I think so. I think they've got momentum. At the start, when they started back from Project Restart, they were 11th, Swansea, and made it into 6th. So they've got all the momentum. They've got the confidence. But I think Fulham have got too much know-how.
Don, a central defender or goalkeeper, who should Chelsea's primary target be this season?
Oof, wow, that's a good question. I would still lean towards. I'd still lean towards a centre half, because I think they've got enough centre halves, Chelsea, but I don't think they've got that dominant leader where if you drop someone like Koulibaly into Chelsea, and then you can maybe just play Rudiger or you could play Zuma.
Yeah, but who do you play in goal, Don? Willie?
What?
Would you play Willie in goal then?
I'll play. I'll go.
You've asked me either or. I mean, if they buy a goalkeeper, there's no guarantee that back line and the numbers that they've got at the moment, I don't think would take them anywhere near the title next season if you didn't change centre half. So if it's a question of a centre half or a goalkeeper, I would say a centre half.
Where are you going, Shaq?
I'm going goalkeeper. I just think there's no confidence in Kepa, and I've said before, I don't think Willie is the number one. And you see from the defense, they have absolutely no confidence in Kepa behind them. That is the first aspect to change if you want to get anything out of a back four, regardless of who else you may bring in.
Okay, slightly different topic now. Shaka, we've seen you, haven't we, in these big kits when you were playing. In seeing their kits and their playing days, seems that tight fitting and lightweight was not the order of the day. Would they have preferred today's kit over the ones they wore? Shaka, you look like you were wearing a dress half the time.
That was his style. You have to remember, I was a trendsetter back in the day, Dan. I wasn't a follower. I set the standard.
But no one followed that. No one followed that. Who wore kits that were hanging off down their ankles?
They haven't followed it yet, Dan.
How would you have felt in the tight kit, Shaq?
I would be comfortable in it. I was built like an Adonis. I was back in the day.
Right, yep. Don, I imagine the start of your career you were all right. Maybe a little bit later on in the career you would have struggled to get into those kits.
What? I've always been skinny. I'm still skinny now. I'd fit right into these tight kits. I think they're amazing.
Yeah.
The kit behind me, honestly, I played in that and it's ridiculous sizes. The sleeves were massive. The necks were massive. You had to tuck them in. They weighed a ton. They were terrible kits that we played in.
Look at the size of that. Look at the size of that thing. How you can compare my kits to what Don has behind him?
Shaka, let me tell you now, the kit that you wore in the 4-4 draw against Charlton, right?
Dear.
If you had worn a tighter kit, you wouldn't have conceded 4.
Oh, no.
There you are.
Bring that up. Don, this is the back of yesterday where we talked about that shirt behind you. You said you prefer playing in long sleeves. You're invited to a dear friend's beautiful wedding ceremony. Short sleeves or long sleeves? Would your decision be based on your temperature comfort like your Liverpool jersey?
What? What's the question?
If you're going
short sleeve,
if you're going wedding, short sleeve or long sleeve?
A shirt?
Yes.
Where's the wedding?
I don't know. Say it's at Trinidad and Tobago. Say you're going to see Shaq.
Short sleeve.
That's different.
Short sleeve all day long.
Short sleeve.
Yeah.
It's all down to the temperature. Shaka?
Yeah, if it's in Trinidad and Tobago, short sleeve. Just about anywhere else, I'll go long sleeve.
Did you get married in short sleeve, Shaq?
No, I actually got married in a full 3-piece long tail suit and nearly died.
Why did you do that?
I don't know. It just seemed smart. It seemed cool. I kid you not.
My goodness.
Guess what I got married in?
Which time, Don?
Linen trousers and flip-flops.
Oh, very nice. Very good. Okay. Has Shaka, this is still on the temperature, has Shaka considered turning on the AC and cooling his room before the show starts? People are very concerned about your sweat levels, Shaq.
I know. I'm sweating now again. I've done that. I've switched it on, the room's really cool, and then as soon as you switch it off, it just gets roasting hot. It's hot outside.
It is really hot today, isn't it?
You need a short sleeve shirt on. That's your problem.
Yeah, maybe. Okay. Just point taken, Don.
Come in a vest. Final question, which is with reference to the text. Let me just read the last question. Had a link to an article saying David Moyes is wanting to win the Premier League next season. Will Don make another bold prediction about the Hammers for next season? David Moyes seems to think it's a solid prediction. He says he's going to win it.
Yeah, I've just seen the notes on the back of your bits of paper there. By the way, you got to be careful.
I tell you what, you could show this to a psychologist and they'd have a field day. Right.
Oh my days! I've got no idea where West Ham are going to finish next season.
Because you said they were going to finish top. You said they were going to finish top 4 when you were on the show last year with us.
Yeah. Next season, top 5. I've got no idea.
I think that's it, gentlemen. Thank you very much. Shaka, you can turn on the AC.
Thanks, man.
Don, you can go short sleeve, long sleeve, whatever you want. Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN Plus.